Hey guys, it's Will. Welcome to the channel. I'm a part-time day trader trying to become a full-time. We are currently in the last week of August. You guys aren't going to see anything on here anyways because I am paper trading this week, and to be honest, the whole month of August just feels really slow. I haven't been really taking any trades, and honestly, that's just my strategy. I don't really see much things on my strategy. I don't see my setups often, but this week I didn't get any setups, and we have one more trading day tomorrow, which is Friday, and that'll be the end of August. I will still update you guys if I take a trade, but I am going to break down this week and just show you guys some of the things I see in this week and what my thoughts are. I am going to do a full breakdown on August, like my P&L, all that type of stuff, so stay tuned for that. Going to August 25th, this is the Monday, this is the first day of the week, and we are currently in this day. And what I do normally on an intraday basis is that I just chart out my levels, and I look for the previous day's highs and the previous day's lows, and I chart them out. The green dashed lines is my previous day's highs, and the red dashed lines is my previous day's lows. I have the Nasdaq here and I have the ES. I always look at both of the charts, and then that's how I trade. This is a 30-minute time frame, and what I want to see is that I want to see intraday break and retests. I'm going to go to 2-minute time frame and show you guys what I see on the day. So I did have my charts leveled or marked out. This light gray area right here is a pre-market, and we are already above this zone right here. Since we're in between these zones that I charted out, I'm not interested in taking a trade in between this zone right here. Although this is still retesting the level and it can go back higher, which it basically did. I like intraday break and retests. I like when the market breaks down or it breaks out of my zones, my ranges, and then it gives me a retest. So since it was inside the zone, I wasn't really trying to do anything, and I will only take a long if it breaks this area right here, and it didn't do that. On a daily basis, I have the previous day's lows and I have the previous day's highs, and depending on the context of the market, depending on my zones, I either long it if it breaks the previous day's highs, or I short it if it breaks the previous day's lows. So we could even be in a bullish market and then we can be bearish on the day. We can be in a bearish market and then be bullish on the day. So it doesn't really matter. I just trade whatever I see. I could have wait here until the end of day, but around noontime, around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, if I see it just chopping around this zone, I don't believe I'm gonna get a trade, so I just walk away. Going into Tuesday, we are pretty much in the same channel. This was the Monday, this is the Tuesday. We're basically in the same channel. Although the previous day's lows is in a different area right now, it's just that I can short this area, but then there's this pre-market lower here that it just doesn't really make sense for me to short when it's just like so close to the zone. And yeah, we're just in the zone right here. So then if I go to the 2-minute time frame again, we are basically in a chop again, and it's not really doing anything. There's Wednesday, and again, we are in the same damn channel. This is Monday, Tuesday, and this is Wednesday. I have this whole channel right here. So what I'm looking for is basically just a break and retest above the level right here, or it can be the break and retest below the level. But for the ES though, I'll probably like it to break this demand zone right here. This area right here is basically the low of the channel, so that means I would want that to break. Fast forward to today, yeah, this is basically what I see in the charts. It looks pretty choppy and it's not really aligning to what I like. So I did not take any trades again. If I go to the 30-minute time frame, and you guys can see the channel right here that you guys just saw. The channel on the ES was right here. The channel on the Nasdaq was right here. And it finally gave me that break, but I just didn't like the charts. This wasn't showing me that strength. It wasn't showing me what I wanted to see, so I did not take the trade. If I go to the 2-minute time frame, I got a nice break above the previous day's highs, which is the green dashed lines that I marked out, and also it was a supply zone, which was the channel high. And I had the same around the ES, but the ES was a bit, it had the pre-market high, it had all-time highs, previous day's highs, kind of hard to read, so that's why I was only going to take the Nasdaq. So the first 2 minutes that we opened, we had a nice break on the Nasdaq, but then the ES was still below this area here, so I didn't really want to take it for long because the market's not aligning. I'm just not really liking it. And then later, this whole area was just a fake out. If I did long it, I would have lost the trade. It did break back down, and then you might think the market is weak, but it's still going back in an uptrend like that. It was just hard for me to even trust it. If I did take the trade around here, it wouldn't really make sense because this is still under the previous day's highs, and the ES is also rejecting all-time highs, so it might just be a weak market. Later day, the Nasdaq does give you that break, and then it finally retests the level, and then it retests it again, but it's just kind of hard to trust because that time, this area here was basically 11:30-ish. 11:30 around here on the ES is basically rejecting previous day's highs right here. So it's just very hard to trust. We do have one more day tomorrow, so we'll see if I take any more trades. If not, this is the end of the week. Did not take any trades this week, and although it sucks, like I would like to take a trade, but I'm also fine not to take a trade. If that's what the market is going to show me, then all I gotta do is just trust my process be patient, wait for the opportunity to come, and then take the trade when I see the trade. And what I like to say is how you do one thing, it's how you do everything. Keep staying disciplined, keep staying consistent, and let's just get 1% better every day. And I'll see you in the next one.